Welcome here to first league racing video here on the channel. It's 107R Racing League, Season 1, Round 6 at the Hungarian. We have a wet qualifying here. Redid the setup, had to add a little bit of wing on. And not normally good in the wet, pretty much an amateur at this game. Here to show basically you can do it at any skill level. And yeah, wet qualifying, running basically it's a wheel and also medium traction, so you don't, start in the lap here, try to go wide to get as much of an entry or much straight line speed down into the corner. It's first lap of this qualifying session. Going down the main straightaway, not too much that I can really do. I turn the tire pressures down to get a little bit extra grip and also some extra, just extra contact patch. I think I fricked up turn 1 a little bit there. Took a little too much inside curb and a little too little speed. Pretty much sent it in to this corner. Not too much that I do. As you see, Shush Football goes fastest with a 127.1. Heading down into one of the scarier turns on this track. Manages to make it out alive with this tad of oversteer. Nothing too major. Carousel section. It's really important to get a good exit out of here. Carry a decent amount of straightaway into the chicane, which is probably another tricky part. Gotta exit good, try not to get oversteer and end into sector 3, which is probably my worst sector apart from sector 1 on this track. As you'll see, there's gonna be quite a few incidences during the race. It's a pretty scruffy lap, honestly, but had to get something in just in case. I'm pretty sure the weather is drying up a little bit here, so it's rounding off the lap. Coming into the penultimate corner. Too major, tried to get a late apex, kind of missed it a bit there. Trying to keep the car straight. I think I took it a little too cautious. Go a little wide, try to get the late apex again. Miss it a bit, but that's alright. Then bullet down the straight, across the line. So 127.7, that'll put us P7 as of yet. And then we're gonna box in as we move on to our next lap here. Bit of an over transition, but we're on the soft tires. I did see that the soft tires, the delta was rapidly going maybe about a second a lap, so I decided to take the risk and go on the soft tires when no one else wouldn't. And we'll see how this lap turns out as we go down the main straightaway. I forgot to turn the ERS deploy on as we were entering the straightaway, but that may have costed me a bit of time here, as you see. But in the braking zone, I already gained a couple of tenths. I messed up, go a little wide, but on the exit, soft tires just so much quicker than the inters. Managed to get the exit I need. There's already a Red Bull behind me, if you could see, and then he decides to try and attack me, I believe. As you see now, he's on my inside, and then he goes to overtake me around the outside, and that pretty much kills the lap completely. So this lap won't really count, and it's going to be the end of it. That's going to be the end of our quali session because, well, I won't have enough time to go back around and do anything more. As you can see, it's gone. Did have more pace than me, but ultimately, yeah. The chicane part, I admit, I didn't even try. I got frustrated very much. I just tried to do anything to gain some extra time, but ultimately didn't really pay off. It's kind of clumsy now that I look back at it. But yeah, just got to finish off the lap. Don't know what was going on, so immediately I already know we're going to have to go for a bit of an aggressive strategy in the race, because we're going to be starting pretty far down the order here. Go wide here. It's not looking good already. Prior results in this league that I've had was my debut race in the Netherlands, Zandvoort, which was a last and no practice to P4 in the race. Then there was Spa, which was, I think, P8 to P6. I finished P4 at the line, but there were penalties involved, so yeah. And you can see, yep, there's the end of my qualifying. So, yep, that was it. I'm starting dead last on the grid in P16. I think I decided to go for a bit more of an aggressive strategy since I'm starting a little further down. I go for a hard medium strategy and to box around lap 19 off the hard tires to get on to the mediums. Underfuel the car a little bit because I know I'll be saving a little bit because I have a feeling there's already going to be a ton of safety cars. Yep, on to the formation lap we do. So need to warm these hards up. It's very important. I almost slammed into the back of Stacy Gamer here. I make a big mistake. I was looking at the tire temps actually, so I did admit I did lose focus there quite a bit. So that is definitely on me. Thankfully, we avoided a collision. Very important to get the temperature into these hards, because these are gonna have to last me more than half the race. We cut to the end here, and I made a mistake. I think I cut it out there, but I collided with Stacy Gamer on accident. That is my fault. Still an amateur at this, but that was stupidity straight up. So yeah, we got the grid positions reset, so that already put me on the back foot even more than I already was, but thankfully I did get the heat into the tires that I needed. So we're gonna see if it'll pay off. Last person about to slot into the grid here, the Aston Martin, the XZL Church. Alright, session about to begin. Knew I gotta prioritize the start, try and go a little bit aggressive to gain some positions, because I knew I could hold these guys up if I needed to. It's lights out and away we go. Got a bit of wheel spin on the start there. Active with the ERS, try and get a little bit of temperature. Knew I had to take it cautious. Turn 1's usually a melee here. I was gonna go for a cheeky dive bomb down the inside, but I had to bail out of that immediately. That was completely occupied. Did not want to risk a crash. Almost hit the back of Stacy Gamer again as he spins his wheels off the exit of the corner. I already made up 2 positions on lights out. You see behind Wes, there's a lot of carnage, a lot of argy-bargy going on up front. Trying to avoid the mess. Seems like there's a bit of contact there. You see these 2 cars. Looks like that was Benja Warrior making contact with one of the cars up front. I think that was a Mercedes of Lucas. Making a huge error there. Trying to get the exit I need in 5th gear. Did not want to risk it. Almost got on the sausage curve. That would have ended our race almost completely there. Into the chicane. A little cautious now. Nothing really happens now for the next couple laps as we just settle in and find our pace. Nothing much happens. See, he tried to go side by side there front. Knew I can gain some time on these guys. My teammate there up in 11th. We didn't have the best qualifying. Oh, bit of oversteer there in that corner. Luckily caught the car. That was on the way to be a big wreck there. See, not much happens here. Settles down for the most part. We're gonna move over onto lap 6. Behind Wesley here. Still trying to chase him down. Just settled up front. Looks like Shush has picked up a 5-second time penalty. I'd imagine for a collision of some sort. Comfortably, I believe, leading as Passar in the Red Bull. And I'm still trying to gain as much time as I can. My tires are starting to fade a bit. There is a brief yellow flag there. I think a car went off, and then we have the VSC, so most likely some debris. As you can see in the mini-map, I believe it was a Mercedes of some sort off. I think it might have been Lucas. Since 20 is right behind there in P10, albeit 8 seconds back. So yeah, VSC, I decided to stay out here, see what more can happen, and then eventually Lucas is out the session, and then it turns into a full safety car. So that immediately changes things up here. I decide to stay out and not box and gain some positions if I could. So I decided to stay out because I feel like it's a little too early to pit off of these hard tires because I knew the mediums wouldn't make it too quickly to the end. Made some contact there with the Williams of Durgos. That's on me, I guess. Not being a little too close. Right behind Shush. Tried to get the exit speed that I needed. They all went, and I decided to not go wide on the corner, try and get the straight line speed. So immediately, I'm already on the back end because I completely failed to get the exit I needed. But they're already starting battles. They go too wide up there. Trying to make a move. Looks like Shush gets the move done on Durgos. We're fighting for P5 here. Made up a couple positions while people decided to pit. So that's going to be pretty useful. If I can hang on to this position. Trying to be a little cautious because I knew I'm pretty bad throughout this sector right here. Durgos on the Williams. Pretty solid pace. Shush. You'll see I'll most likely be battling with him toward the end of the race. Won't spoil it for you guys yet, but yeah, still trying to make up the positions on these hards. They're pretty old, and these guys, they're on mediums, but they're also starting to wear even more. So technically I have the upper hand, and then we're going to cut over. Since nothing much happens, we're going over to another safety car on lap 11. I think it was due to debris. I don't remember who DNF'd here, but it's another safety car yet again. So we're gonna be a little greedy here. Gonna stay out again. I still think it might have been too early to pit onto the mediums and make it to the end comfortably with having the pace that I needed to make it to the end. So I still decided to Stay out. You see people going in the pits. Shush in the pits. Pissar in the pits. Alexen in the pits. All of these guys going into the pits, and I stay out. And as we go into the restart, I actually move my way up to P2. Yuli there in front of me has had mega pace all weekend, and I gave him a bit of a tap there, left tap. That most likely is my fault. I've been hitting people all day, so yeah, pretty clumsy. Tried to get the exit speed again. I failed it, got a decent tank slapper. I felt it through the wheels. I don't know if that was a bit of a late reaction. My teammate decided to box. I think he got wing damage under pits. I tried to make a dive bomb here from far back, but I couldn't make a stick. Yuli just gets immense traction out of that next corner. Running no assist, so I can give the credit to him there. Pretty good exit. Still trying to get my way past, hold him up a bit. Honestly, tried to get my teammate back in the mix here because I knew he was leading the championship, my teammate at the time. So any good finish for Yuli with my teammate that far down is not going to be good. As you could see, he's trying my hardest to push, get my way up. I get a little too greedy. I get on Sasha's curb and then I spin the car. I got too greedy as I had enough of a gap behind and I messed up completely and I lost a ton of positions, as you could see. Using the AI to ghost myself a little bit because I did not want to hurt anybody, kill him. Drop down from P2 to P9 from that. So that was a huge mistake on my end there. I'm going to pay for that later. At 14 out of 35, make the move down the inside of Church. Make it stick. Wesley right there up front. See if I can make any moves on him. Gonna go for the dive bomb here. He keeps it out of my way. A little bit of contact. That is completely my fault. Again, I've been just trying to be a little too aggressive here because I knew what was on the line here. Championship points. So I admit I was being pretty clumsy this race. We'll try to do better. Saturday upcoming is Silverstone. Maybe I can do better there. Trying to dump the ERS, probably very irresponsibly. Catch up to Wesley. Know I'm faster than him in certain parts of the track. Made a good late break there. Almost spin the car again. Get huge amounts of oversteer out that corner. Got too greedy on the throttle. Now you see Stacy Gamer is already on me, trying to make his way through of the inside, but I defended pretty nicely there. Keep him behind until we get to the twisty part where there's not really much overtaking opportunities. Into the fast left-hander. Trying to run a little wide just to keep myself a little safe. Trying to get the exit speed. Don't go on the curb. That curb, or that sausage curb, is most likely going to spin you around. If you could keep it off spinning, it's good on you. Now I know I have to get to Benjo and Wesley ASAP. Benjo is ghosted, so he has an AI. I think he disconnected. So that's going to be a big help. I'll be able to catch and gain and pass him pretty quickly. Do a lift through this corner, try and get a little bit extra speed, dump the ERS out of this corner. I probably should have been preserving the ERS a little more. But my main fight right now is trying to catch up to Wesley and just have the DRS to help me keep it in contention because I had more downforce. I was running, I think, 47 wings, so I was at a huge disadvantage on the straightaway. That's why you see me dumping ERS a lot. I'm pretty sure I'll use it a bit now. Yep, there you go. And then we're going to cut over. Nothing much happens. Wesley goes very wide. I have to take avoiding action there. He goes off the track, make the dive bomb. There's two cars ghosted inside each other. And that's a couple of positions made up there. I'm already back into P5. Now I have an 11-second gap to make up to Shush. But I'm pretty sure it's lap 19. So, yes, I will be pitting this time to go on to the medium. So that was pretty short-lived. So, yeah, boxing onto the mediums. Try and make it to the end. See how much positions I can actually gain. And having the fresher tires compared to everyone else is on crummy hards because they did the medium to hard. I did the reverse of that strategy, trying to gain the position. Good stop there, so nothing to be worried about on the stop. And the clip will cut in a second to me on the tires. Not much happens for the next few laps. We're going to make our way out of it. Come out right behind the Aston Martin there of Church. Got a bit of oversteer there, as you can see. It's definitely the cold tires making me pay. Need to warm these things up ASAP, so you can see me aggressively turning the wheel. I probably shouldn't have been doing that now, looking back at it. But yeah, all these mistakes you can see I'm making. Definitely that not an esports driver would do. But yeah, I was definitely getting pretty impatient with the tire warm-up process, but that's how it is with this game, unfortunately. You see, he's still trying to gain the gap. There's some guys on soft tires So might not have been the best strategy call for sauce, but then we're going to cut over to lap 25 as nothing much really happens until then. Good, slash the gap pretty well to Will, and then we have a late race safety car. Late race safety car there, so that is going to help me out tremendously as I will be right behind everyone else that I need to overtake, and I'm on the much fresher mediums, having only pit about 6 laps ago compared to everyone else who pit around lap 14 to 15. So this is a huge advantage for me in the race, especially like my tires, they're still fresh-ish, just under 20% on the rears, and about 15, 16 everywhere else. Let's see, I need to catch up. So this is going to help me out tremendously. I'm not going to box. I'm going to stay out because I know other people are going to want to box to get off and onto newer tires. So technically, I will be at an advantage and disadvantage. Disadvantage because I have most likely what will be older tires because people are going to be pitting. Better advantage because I will gain some positions on the people that are pitting. So that'll help me out tremendously now, as you're about to see. The safety car is going to go in this lap. Gain a few positions. I'm up to 7th, and then the AI decides to brake and give me the illegal overtake, so I had to slow down to let him by, and I lose a ton of time to the car in front. Then we go green, so I had to get very punchy on this restart to get on with it. Not the most ideal, about 1.7 seconds to the car ahead of Will. I know he's ghosted, so I might as well just go right through him. It'll make the late... I don't know why I braked early there, because I forgot he was in ghosting, so that was pretty clumsy still. Another clumsy mistake, but we're going to make up for it, hopefully. With there being 6 laps left, going to chunk the car right into this left-hander. I cut some curbs. Lucky I didn't spin there. Too much of that curb is pretty bad. I don't know why I downshifted there. We're going to go into this fast left-hander here. Quick down, grab the gear, downshift, go for it, and just take him on the outside. We get a bit of a better entry here. I'm gaining on the cars in front. P7, I can see P5 as well right ahead. So I know that I'm back in contention for some solid top 5 points here in this race. Check the car in, left, right, and then there's Shush spinning off. I think Yuli, oh, and I spin it again. Yeah, I forgot I spun there, but yeah, Shush, he got tapped, I believe, by Yuli and got turned around. I spun completely off of a skill issue. I recovered it decently, but now I have some more work to do, but nothing much happens there until the final couple laps here on lap 33, right behind Will. I have very minimal time here. I'm in P9 at the moment, but I can see the cars up front battling. So this is my chance to gain as much time as possible. Make a late break send, get the car slowed down in time, get a very good exit. I forgot they turned off, I think, the DRS assist, but I didn't notice, so I was very late on that there. I chunked the car into this corner, go a little wide, drifted back into the inside, and I get a pretty good exit off that corner there as well. So lap 34 to 35, I have very little time to make this happen, so I need to make it happen ASAP. It's now or never that this happens. We're gonna see now gaining on Will, not Will, Church, sorry. Yeah, Church. I'm pretty sure he's ghosted. No, actually, he's not ghosted. I can't remember. No, he's not. So, yeah, he's on the mediums. I'm on fresher mediums, though, because he did not box, I believe. And Shush up ahead is on new softs. Get a little bit of oversteer on that corner, manage to correct it. There's barely the tires. Keeping them in check. As you see now, the cars start to stack up in front of me. So this is a load of positions I'm able to gain if I can make it work. Church in front of me. We're heading now out the final corner. Actually, into the final corner. Now we're headed out the final corner onto the final lap of this race. Church in my sights. I'm dumping whatever ERS I have left, using the ERS, keeping in the slipstream, right up in 20. P7, I decide I'm going to go for the biggest dive bomb ever. Abuse the track limits a little bit. And then you see Yuli, who was leading the race for quite a lot up until this point, get turned around. So Yuli spins. So now that is me up into P5 automatically. So that is a nice top 5 position there for me. Durgos is already 18 seconds up the road. Him and Passar. And no, I don't think Passar. Actually, yeah, LXN. They're battling up front for the win. I think they're holding him off. But right now, my main fight is with Shush in the Ferrari, trying to get this P4 position. Got 5 laps fueled, what Jeff was saying. But here we go into the little twisty section here. I actually gained a pretty good amount of time on him through here. We'll have to take it easy and preserve some ERS to try and dump it down this upcoming straightaway. I get very close to him here. Lift the throttle a bit. Get very close to him. He uses the exit curves pretty aggressively. I could make the dive bomb here. I decided to settle for what I had because I knew that gap was pretty shrinking. I was going to try to go for a little lunge here. Thought about it, but then he makes a very big error, goes wide. I have him side by side for the moment. Then I'm going to try the crossover, but Shush very beautifully defends my dive bomb, or my crossover attempt, and then we're going to cross the line to seal off P5, but we get promoted to P4 in the end of the race due to a post-race penalty for Shush, because I'm pretty sure he was the one that turned Yuli there when you saw him spinning. So yeah, P4 it'll be. P5 on track, P4 after penalties. Very good points considering where we started, and we get the driver of the day bonus too, according to the game. So all in all, pretty decent race. I bottled it quite a few times when I should not have. Made a few clumsy mistakes, but honestly, it wasn't the worst race of my life. It could have been worse. As you can see, the finishing positions. LXN takes the win in the AlphaTauri, followed by Passar, Durgos, Shush, and me. We get switched because that's all the positions that were lost, I believe. Actually, no. XZL is but right behind. So actually, Church. Actually, no. Shush will get demoted all the way down below Will, I believe it is. And that's just about the end of that. So, yep. Thanks for watching.